Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, man. Mauricio Suleiman Jr. said, and I'll link the tweet in the description or the source link, that Errol Spence has a mandatory, and he basically lays out Errol Spence's plans, which I've been saying for a long time, but let's get into it. It's Goodfellow Sports TV. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, check our welterweight boxing playlist out, get some more videos like this, man. And yeah, man, I think they would have made way if Errol wanted to fight Pacquiao. You know, because WBC do step aside money. They could have made Danny step aside, but I think the plan was this. Well, I know the plan was this. They wanted Errol to fight Pacquiao next, right? And Danny was going to take on Mikey. People said, well, Mikey with his own. Well, Al Hammond can match any offer for Mikey next fight. Well, Eddie can. So I don't think he could match that. But what happened was Manny Pacquiao obliged Errol Spence when he called him out. When he first came out and did his first interview with Brian Kenny, he said, I'll fight Danny Garcia, Pacquiao. Brian Kenny brought up Bud. He said him too, I'm still the king. All right. So Pacquiao, you know, basically took him up on an offer behind the scenes. He was asking Al for the fight. He called Errol and Terrence out on Twitter. I heard Terrence was thrown in there for, you know, to make it look good. Errol said, nah, he didn't want to fight. I believe they asked a little bit after in January or something like that. And they negotiated again. It was still no. And I think Pacquiao might have asked again. He been trying to get that fight. And it's no. And we all know Pacquiao wants to fight because the man been in a car accident. People say, well, you hate Earl, man. Listen up, bro. I always kick real game. All right. When Earl had that car accident, before the car accident, when he beat Sean Porter, maybe you thought it was an inch or you thought it was a country green mile. He didn't still want to fight Errol Spence. The word to me was if Sean Porter won the night of the fight, Sean Porter was going to unify with Manny Pacquiao to 3 belts. That's what Pacquiao wanted. And I said this all before, but for people that didn't hear it before, so kind of want to do an update. So it was still questions if Danny Garcia wanted to elect to take his mandatory versus Errol Spence. So he seen an opportunity because it was talks that he wasn't going to take that fight. Since Errol Spence looked human versus Sean Porter, he jumped in the ring. See, I had left the movie theater. Then my guy hit me like, yeah, Danny jumped in the ring. I said, for real? So Danny going to take the fight. So Pacquiao was probably going to fight Mikey next. Now, I was the first person saying that Pacquiao and Mikey was going to happen on the DAZN. It could happen. It was top ranked. The DAZN and PBC was all bidding for the fight. So, you know, the DAZN basically won when Pacquiao left PBC and signed with McGregor management. And they had Mikey under there for a 1-fight deal and the 1-1. They could match any offer. So, you know, Errol wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he thought he was ready. You know, you get into a car accident and 24 hours later, you could feel different. Now, he secretly could have sparred, or he was doing a little bit of workouts, I guess. But I just think his father, his coach, Derrick James, and, you know, the team just, you know, was like, he ain't ready. And I think it's a smart move. Keith Thurman was just ready to sell his butthole out for Manny Pacquiao, and he wasn't ready. So Earl, you know, you gotta tip your hat off to him for having some integrity, because you know Pacquiao was gonna bully him on a PED test, on a VADA test, and all that stuff. So he basically said that, you know, I ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? So he hadn't sparred yet. Is what they saying. You know, they showed a workout on Ellie Segback channel with him and Derrick James hitting the pads, and you know, from head down, you know, he looked like he cutting the weight and coming back down despite his partying ways. But his face still look a little bit swollen. He really not talking right. You see how his face look in that picture? It don't look like that no more. People can live in a different reality, but it's the fact that he ain't the same. So you telling somebody who face not the same, and it could just be dentures, it could just be oral surgery. But if he get hit, I ain't trying to hear no excuses from nobody, because I told y'all what it is. So Mauricio Suleiman came out and said that Danny Garcia is the mandatory. And like I said, before the Sean Porter fight, it was talks that Danny Garcia may pass on being the mandatory. Had he went out there and did the blue face and mopped the floor with Sean Porter in a few rounds, like a lot of y'all marks thought he was gonna do, Danny Garcia wouldn't have took that fight. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's a duck, but it's a duck, but I get it. I wouldn't really deem it a true duck of Pacquiao, because you don't know, one day you feel good after a car accident, you can be like, oh, and then next day you feel a pain or whoever it may be, and they still assessing, where he at. So Pacquiao just the opportunist. He's gonna try to jump on Errol and Patter's resume, and they not giving us no benefit of the doubt being black fighters. Like with Fury, it's knuckle in, knuckle out. He failed the test 5 years ago, whatever. It's water under the bridge when it comes to a Negro fighter. Now, when it comes to us, if that was Wilder with the glove and all that other shit, the farmer came out, people would have pretty much emasculated Wilder and butt broke him, like old Negro say, and treat him very, very inhumane and shit. So, it's different. It's different rules for us, man. And it's that, from corporate America down to grade school, down to pre-K, kindergarten, all the way down to, being you coming out the womb. That's just what we dealing with. But, Danny Garcia, he in shape. He the mandatory. So Earl is knocking out his mandatory with Danny Garcia. Suleiman Jr., he confirmed that. He confirmed it. And I said, I put the post link in the description. So Earl got to fight his mandatories. That's why they was going to strip him. So, Danny said he wanted to fight right after the Sean Porter fight in September. So it wasn't like Danny Garcia, he didn't already see holes in Errol Spence's game. But now even more, I don't think he's stepping aside unless Al say step aside. But he would have stepped aside if he was promised to win Earl and Pacquiao down the line. I definitely think he would have stepped aside for that. But it is what it is, and it's a mandatory fight. That's why they was asked. That's why it was talks about him becoming Emirates champion. It was talks about him becoming a champion in recess. It was talks about him becoming franchise champion. Those talks was real. And Earl basically told him, I'm coming right back in, no tune-ups. He can't take a tune-up, because if he took a tune-up outside, or he took a fight outside of Pacquiao or Danny, the IBF probably could have stripped him. The WBC would have let him fight Pacquiao, but a tune-up they wouldn't let him have. He had to fight his mandatory. Now, if it was Canelo, would they have let Canelo fight his mandatory? You know what I'm saying? Fight a tune-up? Yeah. Yeah, they would let Canelo have his tune-up. But, it is what it is. Once again, we got two different sets of rules. But, Earl and Danny is the move. Earl couldn't really budge out of it. It was either franchise, champion in recess, Emirates champion, or just drop the belt. And whatever reason, he didn't want to drop the belt. So, or drop the IBF belt. So, it's Danny Garcia next. It's a must. If it's not Pacquiao or Mayweather type of fight, or Lord forbid, a Conor McGregor type of fight that make a lot of money and make a lot of sense, Danny Garcia was promised a pay-per-view fight. And if if he don't want to fight Sean, what else pay-per-view fight can they put on for Danny Garcia to be the headline? Not Yugas, Pacquiao probably fight Mikey. They try to do Mikey and Danny Garcia and do, Mikey and Errol Spence. So Errol said no. So Errol not being ready, that is what it is. So, Danny is already in shape. They saying he locked in, he in focus, he shredded down, he cutting down. He already sparring, so it don't sound like he gonna have to cut a ton of weight for this fight. It seems like Earl been starting to cut down a little bit too. Looking at Derrick James, he getting in fight shape. But the best thing happened for Errol Spence was, one, not dropping the belt, because the coronavirus, who knows, is gonna be over. So he get more and more time to heal, more and more time to assess his body, more and more time to even spar. And we'll see what happens. But if he win, it's gonna be, what we all expected for him to do versus Danny Garcia is win. If he come out and lose, it's gonna be a bunch of excuses. But if he do lose, if he do win, and Danny Garcia can't beat the Errol Spence that just flew through a car window, he can't beat nobody at welterweight. He lost to Sean, he lost to Keith Thurman, he barely beat Guerrero. He don't want to fight. He ducked Lopez in January. He couldn't stop Red Cash. He ducked not John Molina. It's another guy he ducked. Dennis Yugas, for that fight date. So, this Danny Garcia, man, I've been saying he should have retired. He just ain't hungry like he used to be, man. And when you ain't got that hunger no more, you know, you can't beat the top guys. But the difference in this one, if he 100% healthy, or if Errol at his best, you know, there's no way Danny Garcia can touch him. You know, I think it's a good fight for Danny Garcia, style-wise, if Errol come to him and be aggressive. If Errol come to him and he fight him like he did Sean, I think at Errol at his best and Danny his best, I think Danny got a 30% chance of winning. If Errol box him at his best and Danny at his best, I think he got like a 15% chance of winning. But now you looking how Errol looking, you don't really know. A fight that's probably 70% in Errol favor. Now to me, I can't call it. You know, I think it may be a true 50-50 depending on where Errol health is at. I mean, it's a fight I wouldn't bet on because I don't know where Errol at physically. I know where Danny at physically because I've been seeing tapes of him sparring. He ready, you know, but we'll see what happens. But Mauricio Sulaiman Jr. continued to say that he got to fight the winner of Sergey Lipinets and Qdoba, the dude who beat Collazo at on Top Rank. You know, I think he fought him. I forget what card he fought him on, but he fought and he got the IBF mandatory. Qdoba and Lipinets both penned a letter to the IBF to fight each other to be the interim IBF title holder and fight Errol Spence. I do know after Danny Garcia fight is made, Errol Spence got 90 days to fight the winner of Lipinets and Qdoba. So we'll see what happens. I know he wanted to fight Qdoba first. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was intending to do. After the car accident, he was gonna fight Qdoba, and Qdoba was going around telling people in Reno that's what the move was. But whatever happened, you know, Danny Garcia next, because they promised Danny Garcia a pay-per-view fight. And when they couldn't get Mikey, they got to go through with it. So Errol gonna have a busy period of time. They can extend that 90 days because Anthony Joshua did it with Brodsworth Puev. So, you know, we'll see, you know, where it go down. But, you know, if Lipinets win, I can see Errol dropping the belt, tuning up, and then come back and get the belt. But if Qdoba win, Bob Arum ain't extending shit. That's the problem. Bob Arum he gonna have to fight Qdoba on the hot. If he injures himself versus Danny Garcia or you know, whatever, they gonna strip him. IBF strict. If he don't fight Qdoba on the hop or the purse bid and Bob Arum win it, Bob Arum gonna put so much pressure on that just because they won't give Crawford a shot. So they gotta hope that Lipinets win. I think that fight, Qdoba and Lipinets, that can go either way. Lipinets, he got problems with dudes that can stick and move, and Qdoba got some range. He can stick and move. But Lipinets got that one-hitter quitter. He looking better with Joe Goosen than he did with Buddy McGurf. Not saying Goosen or McGurf or Goosen better than each other. I'm just saying that that you know, he's better with his style. Goosen's style is better for offensive Lipinets. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with this, man. But I'll link that tweet in the description. It doesn't shock me at all. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I've been hearing for like the last few months. So we'll let the best man win. Let me know what y'all guys think about, you know, Danny and Errol being mandated by the WBC. And then the winner is mandated to fight Qdoba Lipinets winner. That was supposed to be like May 16th or something like that. So all this going to move back. I mean, we don't know when we're going to get over the COVID-19, the coronavirus. That's the issue. So we can get over it and get back to boxing. I heard boxing promotional companies done lost so much, you know, traction that, you know, they gonna go hard in the paint down the stretch when boxing come back. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out there if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests, want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal in the description. Don't forget I put that source link in the description. Best way to donate for me personally is to share the video. Let me know what you guys think. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV. And yeah, we're gonna be back with some more boxing stuff. Check our welterweight playlist out. We gone.